back to my channel. Today I'm just going to talk about how to hobby on a budget really. I've seen this topic come up a fair few times in a lot of Facebook groups, forums, especially from a lot of new people coming in, and basically just little tips, tricks to help you save money really, because this hobby is quite a lucrative hobby. It is very expensive, but it's a hobby. Games Workshop feel they can set a price point, and for what they are churning out, I feel it's quite fair, and they have tried lowering the entry point over the past year or so, and they're doing a fantastic job on that. So the first point I'm going to look at is like their box sets. They obviously your Dark Imperium, the Sigmar one, I don't know what that is because I don't play it. I feel they are very fair and very well priced. Like looking at Dark Imperium, you get 2 starter armies, a hardback rulebook which is fantastic. The past couple editions you just get like a little A5, like very cut down rulebook. So having the full hardback one is great. So yeah, you got that, split it between a friend, and then what's next? Like, let's start collecting box sets. Now they are fantastic value for money. A lot of the time, like the big part of the box set is close to actually the retail value of the box set itself. So literally you're getting centerpiece model and then everything else for like a couple of quid, which is great. But there are cheaper ways to get them as well. Always look at your independent hobby, like stockists. Like one of my go-to is Eastern Fringe Gaming. Like they offer 25% off on everything. There's none of this 15 to 25%, 20%. It's all flat 25%. Like bunch of great guys. So yeah, start collecting box, 37.50. You cannot go wrong with that. It's fantastic value. Next point is eBay. Always look at eBay. Always misspell words, because some people, they'll stick up some up, they'll miss an M in Warhammer. Like some people don't know what they're putting up. Maybe like they're just getting rid of like their kids stuff, and yeah, sometimes they spell it wrong, and that's the best way to pick up some bargains. I remember once I picked up a Vindicator for 99p, all because they spelled Vindicator wrong. No one else bid on it. I had hardly any views. I was like, oh, I'll chuck a fiver on it. Won it for 99p. Like sometimes it's great, and always bid at the last minute. Don't get into a pointless bidding war for something you can win for a fraction of the price you end up paying. But like, so you got your models, what's next? So you might need a unit, a model or something, and you don't want to pay out for it, can't afford it, etc. Kit bash, it's a great way to do things. Like in 7th edition, when the Traitors Hate supplement came out, I needed a Chaos Spawn to run my Death Guard Vectorum, and I only needed one. Like I didn't need to buy the box, although I could have. It's great value because you get 2, bunch of other bits, green stuff a ball, stick everything together, bang, you got a 3rd spawn. But I was a little bit hard up at the time, so I thought I'll try and make one myself. Literally grabbed a bunch of green stuff, grabbed a bunch of bits, literally just threw it together, and came up with this little monstrosity. Absolutely love this little fella. Like, just haven't painted him yet, but I was so proud of how he came out. Literally made like a slug type body, got a bunch of bits, literally just squashed them in, bang, instant spawn. 30 points of goodness he was. But like I say, great ways to do it. Like if you've got like legs, torsos, anything kicking about. Like I've got Chaos Sorcerer I use as jump pack sorcerer. He's got possessed wings. Dark Angel Terminator legs, and the Maggotkin, one of the bodies, like as a top. He's my Nurgle Wartime Sorcerer. Literally didn't pay out for him. Add the bits. Easy. Looking at like your hobby supplies. Now, GW put out a lot of fantastic good stuff, but there are cheaper and sometimes better alternatives. Like primers. Their primers are good. I feel they're not great. Sometimes they do have issues, and their prices can be quite expensive. Now, what I use to prime my models is Wilco's primer. This stuff I feel is better than the Games Workshop Corax White. It's £4. Sometimes I use the Rangers one, which is high coat, which is like a little bit cheaper, so it depends where I am when I need to get it. And yeah, this stuff is fantastic. It's so much cheaper, it's amazing, I love it. And also, like Halfords do their own primer, a little bit pricier, I think it's about £7.99, but again, it's cheaper than Games Workshop. You get more paint in it. So what's this? This is 400ml. Can't remember exactly what the GW one is. I think it might be a little bit less. But yeah, this £4. It's £1 per 100ml. It's amazing. I love it. Wouldn't go for anything else, so apart from high coat, because that's so good as well. But Halfords, along with their primers, do great metallic sprays. Now, well, like general sprays, metallic, normal. Now, Rover gunmetal is what I use for like spraying up metal, so like the back end of knights, dreadnoughts, whatever. It's very close to bulk gunmetal, and it's just great coverage. Like, make sure you're spraying far back because it can come on quite thick, but then it smooths out. And this is what I use for my Death Guard, Peugeot Panama Beige. It is amazing. It cuts down my time when painting, literally. Prime, spray that, give it about 10-20 minutes to dry, bang. I've got a whole unit undercoated ready for washes, details, all that jazz. It's so good. Now, glue, I feel like, is one of the things that can get very expensive. The Games Workshop ones are, to be honest, awful. I do not rate them in the slightest. For plastic glue, I use, what's it called again? I can't remember. It's the blue tub, yellow lid. It's not Humbrol, is it? I can't remember for the life of me now. But yeah, I use that. It's cheaper, it's generally bigger, and yeah, it's so good. But for super glue, what I use is, give me a sec. Sorry about that. This stuff, I should always be prepared, but I'm not. DIY time with Tommy Walsh. What a legend that man was. A friend got me onto this because I used to use Gorilla Glue. Now I'll spend like £4 or £5 a bottle. It was great, but obviously £4 or £5 a time, it adds up. But this stuff, Poundland, literally £1 for 4 bottles. Best glue I've ever used. It really puts everything else to shame. Now, it is a little bit watery, so you have to be quite careful with the application, but mate, it's incredible. It's changed my life. And yeah, £1 for 4 bottles. You just really can't go wrong. Now, another thing is always check places you wouldn't expect for hobby supplies. I remember a few years back, I just went into WX Smith's, and I thought, they've got a little paint section, like for like acrylics, like watercolors and all that jazz. I noticed they sell Winsor and Newton brushes, and now they're actually selling them for a fraction of the price that Windsor and Newton, Amazon, all like online like stores sell them for. I said, oh, I'll pick a couple up. Fantastic, like, and much cheaper. But like with paintbrushes, you don't need to always go for high end. I feel Games Workshop ones, although they are good, like there are better, cheaper alternatives out there. Like, I picked a pack up off Amazon for like £8 for like 12 brushes. I thought, oh, they're going to be awful, but well, I've had them for about just over a year and they're still going strong. They haven't split. The bristles are still at a point. So yeah, it's always worth checking out cheaper alternatives. But yeah, I think that's all my little tips for today. Obviously, if that's helped you in any way, please like this video, share it around, help out other fellow hobbyists. If you've got any tips and tricks for yourself, like please comment below. But yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time.